What up, everybody? Welcome to another tutorial video brought to you by Andrew. Welcome to the new WWE13 fans. If you're new to WWE13, welcome. Today's video I'm going to show you how to play a ladder match. You know, a lot of guys asked me about this. I really do hate the new ladder system. This was introduced, I think, in WWE12, and it was also in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. I really hate the new way of getting the ladder, but when you've played previous games, I think it's actually much better, because in the old previous games you'd actually see a briefcase, and the briefcase would be like red, and as the red meter goes down, then it shows you, who's won it. I like that way more, because in this one, although this one is a bit more realistic, because you don't really know who's gonna win it. In this one, when you climb up the ladder, you have to press the right analog stick, and then you have to then press it down when it says press down. I don't like it at all. I like the old-fashioned way where you have a briefcase at the top, and it will be filled with red meter, and as the meter, when you grab, whether it's a briefcase or the championship belt, for example the World Heavyweight Championship belt, the meter will go down, 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 down until it's empty, until the briefcase is empty and there's no ink, red color ink inside it. When that happens in the old games, it means you've won the ladder match, and if you're the wrestler, you'll fall down with either the briefcase or the championship belt. I like that more, but then I think this is much more realistic, because nowadays when you play the ladder matches, all you'd have to do is press the right analog stick up, and then when it says pull, you can press the analog stick down, so it's kind of like you really are trying to grab the briefcase, and you don't see any briefcase image at all, and it doesn't disturb the match, especially when it comes to video editing. When you want to do ladder matches, Money in the Bank matches, it's even better. Now, at the same time, playing ladder matches is exactly like TLC matches, which is table, ladders, and chairs. Now, the thing I do hate about these two previous wrestling is because sometimes in the TLC match, it always, like, if you watch real wrestling, in a TLC match, you can still win by pinfall. What they've done in the two previous wrestling games is, which is pretty much what they seem to do in TLC matches, THQ, is that in a TLC match in the game, you can only win by climbing up the ladder. Whereas in real life wrestling, TLC matches, it's not just climbing up the ladder. Most of the TLC matches they have, I swear in WWE, they win the match by pinfall. I want you to be able to have that option where you can decide if you want the match to end with victory by pinfall or by climbing up the ladder, but they don't give you that option. If they can give you that option in a cage match where you can climb out or escape through the door, you should be able to have the same feature for this TLC matches, because what happens if I want a TLC match but I want it to end in pinfall, not by climbing up the ladder? So if you are playing a TLC match, then this is the same rules as it follows. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to show you how to do this, and I thought I'd go with two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. They faced each other at Armageddon 2002, where it was a 3 stages of hell match, and the third fall was a ladder match, which was in Sean's favor, since Sean had a classic ladder match with Scott Hall. It was for the Intercontinental Championship, one of the greatest ladder matches. Is it my favorite? It probably is up there, not in the top 3, because most of the top 3 is the tag team matches. But if you want to do ladder matches, then I advise you to play with Shawn Michaels and Edge, since they are the best at tag team. If you're created Jeff Hardy, you can go with Jeff Hardy, but Edge is the best at TLC matches, with the number of victories he's won for the tag team titles and the World Heavyweight Championship. So if you are new to WWE13 and you want to play ladder matches but you're having trouble, then if you want to make it realistic, I would go with Shawn Michaels or Edge. But if you have CAWs, then I still recommend you go with Edge and Shawn, but you could use Jeff Hardy. You know what? Ladder matches is very unpredictable, because you don't really have to necessarily do a lot of damage to your opponent, and you can still win the match, which is kind of why I kind of really do dislike the new ladder matches, because it's not realistic. A ladder match, when I do my intros or promos, it's so hard for me to do it, because this doesn't matter any mode you put it, whether it's easy, normal, hardcore, legend. It just seems to me when the match has started, already 5 minutes in a match, it ends because either the computers won or I won, and I don't like it. I don't feel like it's realistic. That's the one thing which disappoints me the most when I play ladder matches. It's not realistic to me. Table matches is more realistic than a ladder match because you can be 5 minutes in a tables match and you can't win because your opponent is that damn good and your opponent hasn't inflicted enough damage for you to be able to put your opponent through the table. So with the ladder matches, I try to make it realistic as much as I can, which is what I'm doing in this video by beating up my opponent a bit more. So again, if you're using Triple H and you're playing against Shawn Michaels, go for the legs, since Shawn is, back then he used to use a lot of his legs. But if you want to get the ladder, first of all, for newcomers, if I get my PS3 remote now, the button you're going to press is L1. On the 360, I believe your button is, is it I don't know, RB or something? Maybe? RB. So, do a little damage. Now, the good thing about ladder matches is the ladders all 4 ladders are surrounding the ring, so you'll have no problem. But I also wished in this game that if they went a bit realistic, that they would put one of the big ladders, because in wrestling they have these medium ladders, and then they have the biggest ladder. So I wish maybe in the new game they can put the big ladder. When I do my review, I hope you guys are gonna like it, because it's going to be a long review. But as you see, I'm climbing up the ladder. Now, in order to grab the title, you just want to press the left analog stick. Now be careful, but when it says once again grab it, then you want to press the right analog stick down. So it's very interesting here because this video, when I was doing the title, just seemed to go in his direction, and once again I had to go. You know what I also want to do is see if I could grab the title, but if someone knocks the ladder down, I want to roll myself up. So I'm grabbing the title literally. That way nobody can grab the title off me because my leg is on the rope, which is kind of dangerous because if you do fall and hit your head, then it's going to be a nasty injury. But I want them to do more things in ladder matches. My controller is busted. You can see why I'm messing up. In some of my videos, I'm doing taunting moves when I don't want it to. It's time for me to get a new 360 controller, PS3 controller. So, in a ladder match, you don't need to inflict that much damage because normally, when I played this game, you can grab the title twice and you won't get it. So, in your third attempt, you're most likely to win this match. So, what you do here is when it says hold, now can you see here, it's pretty much game over. So, that's how you do it. Remember, you press the left analog stick to grab it. Then once it says, then it's going to say it's holding. When it says pull, you then press down the right analog stick and you will see your wrestler pulling it until he officially grabs it in his hand and falls down the ring. Or if you set up a table, he can fall through a table, which would be sick. Also, what the new additions they should do is sometimes I want to suplex my opponent from the top rope through the table, but unfortunately every time you do that, it's like it moves the table and you don't go through the table. So once again, if you want to win a ladder match, you press the left analog stick up, and when it says, and it will say hold, after it says hold, it will say pull. Then what you do is you pull the right stick down, and until your wrestler gets it firmly in his hand and then falls down the ground. That's pretty much, once that happens, you've won your ladder match, and there you go. So that's how you play a ladder match. I hope you've liked the tutorials so far. One of the first tutorials was how to play an iCrit match. The second one was based on a submission match. This one is on a ladder match, and as always, this does follow for a TLC match. I hope you enjoyed these tutorial videos. If you want some more tutorials, let me know. I'm working on my promo and more stuff. So that's enough for me. Please rate and subscribe, and as always, have a nice day. The next intro I'll be doing is The Beautiful People. Thank you very much, and this video is brought to you by Andrew. Peace out.